It's time for Dodger Baseball.
What's going on, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. After the Dodgers, they get the sweep of the Chicago Cubs for the first time at home since the 1960s. LA improves to 56-29. They're on a 106-win pace, an 8-game lead over the San Diego Padres in the NL West. 10-1 on the homestand. Their 25th comeback win of the year. The comeback kids do it again. The never say die Dodgers. They get a big 11-9 win. And this one was crazy. This game felt like it was going to last forever. I was hoping that this game was going to have to end there, have to shower up and get ready for the All-Star game. I mean, this game was an eternity, but it was a great win and a great homestand for this Dodger team. And first things first, who is your player of the game? Where you represent Dodgers Nation from? Let me know down below in the comment section. Give me those city zip codes. Daniel Rocha coming with the WWWW. All the W's. Yeah, fly that L flag if you're the Cubs today, because the Dodgers were the ones who got the W. It was just such a wild game out there at Chavez Ravine. They trailed 5-0. They trailed 8-3 at one point. We're going to get into Julio Urias' outing. Phil Bickford giving up that home run. Brusdar, Graterol really leveling up. David Price, he struggled out there, but this offense, they were grinding out at bats. You saw great two-strike hitting. You saw great clutch hitting. You saw productive outs. You saw the Max Muncy sac fly there in the first inning. You saw the sacrifice ground out by Will Smith. So you saw productive outs. You saw some slugs. So we're going to get into this one, but the Dodgers get a win in what was really the wildest game of the season. I'm glad they had enough baseballs to finish the game. You hear Kirsten Watson, they were counting baseballs up to 200 balls, but let's jump right into this comment section. And like I said, what is your biggest takeaway from today's 11-9 win over the Chicago Cubs? The Dodgers, a dominant homestand where they go 10-1 in the homestand, an 8-game lead over the Padres. Look, the Padres, after wearing those uniforms, they just end their season. I mean, come on. They look like some Sherbert Arizona iced tea uniforms, not looking good. I guess it's better than UPS colors. But let's jump into this comment section. We got Baby Mike 1313. Comeback kids go. What a wild and crazy game. That's from Deborah Young. How sweep it is. By the way, who's going to get the comment of the night? By the way, who's going to get that comment of the night? If you guys bring a fire take, a super hot take, you're going to hear the flames. If you're going to bring a burn, I don't care who it's about, you're going to hear the finish him. If you're going to get the Go Dodgers chance, if you get the comment of the night, you're going to hear the you win. So who's going to bring that comment of the night? But who is your player of the game? Because I think it's pretty obvious. You got to go with Fredericks of Hollywood. Freddie Freeman going 4-5 with his 11th home run, a double, 2 RBI, scored 2 runs. He was a madman running to first, made some big scoops, made some big catches there at first base. Freddie Freeman was outstanding once again today. But let me know who is your player of the game. Here we go. Great win. Glad I didn't work today. That's from Damien. Yeah, sweep. We got Justin Lamas, Brusdar. There you go. Aquamas, you watch the show. You know we call him the Brusdar Graterol. We're going to get him to his appearance because he is a guy that's certainly showing a vast improvement in what he's able to do out there on the mound. You're seeing an improved slider. You're seeing him work both sides of the plate. You're seeing him work different quadrants of the zone. You're seeing him elevate that two-seamer, also inducing that soft contact. Was able to get those double plays today. And Brusdar Graterol, he hasn't allowed an earned run since he allowed those 2 earned runs in that appearance against the Braves a few weeks ago. So he's definitely figured some things out mechanically, and he's got just a better feel for that slider, and that's exactly what's going to truly unlock him and take him to the next level. That's how the bazooka, that's how Brusdar is going to turn to Brusdar out there on the mound, and you're seeing has much better bite. It's sharper, throwing it in the zone. So I like what I'm seeing from Brusdar Graterol, especially when you consider the fact that Daniel Hudson goes down. They need these high leverage relievers, and Brusdar, he's not a guy that you want to bring into situations where there's men on base because he doesn't miss a lot of bats and he doesn't strike out guys, but as he continues to improve that slider pitch, and I think that he's definitely heading in the right direction. There's no question about it. But we got Freddie Freeman, player of the game from Face Lord. Richard over on Facebook. Hell yeah, how sweep it is. Fly the L for the Cubs. There we go, Damien. You brought your broom. Okay, good times. That's from Jose over on YouTube. D-Mac, you demand right back at you, Ron Fig. Thanks for rocking with us as always. A loyal viewer of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. If you're new to the show, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. Dylan Hare from Southeast Louisiana, the 90 Southeast LA. Sorry about that. 90201. What up, Dylan? Always rocking with us. Appreciate you, my man. Calvin T. Rebin from Palmdale. Go Dodgers. 323. Mid City. Damian Fly the Broom. Rod Wells. Wow. Blue Heaven from 713. James the 209. Freeman is your player of the game. Nando 390. D-Mac. When will Graterol be the new closer? I mean, let me ask you guys that question. Do you guys think he is the future closer for the Dodgers? I think the one thing with Brusdar Graterol is he's always felt like a work in progress. And what I mean by that is they want to get him to a position where he doesn't rely solely on that 101, 102 mile per hour two-seam fastball, because it is a very, I would dare I say, hittable a 102 mile per hour fastball, as you can see, because of we look at his stride to the plate. He has one of his extension isn't a very long extension. So it is serious gas. Don't get me wrong. Has the movement, but he does induce a lot of contact. He does throw a lot of strikes, and big league hitters, they can time up a bullet. So they put it in play against Brusdar Graterol, but a lot of times with the movement on that two-seam fastball, you're seeing the ground ball outs. You're seeing the weak fly outs. You're seeing him break bats. But I think what's really going to keep hitters off balance is going to be the use of that slide piece, is the him continuing to try to use that cutter, and I thought that he was big in this game. Don't kid yourself. I mean, this one, as wild as it was, and we're going to break down what happened the first 3 innings, because that was just insanity there. But late in the game, when David Price came in, and he low-key pooped the bed just slightly, and he put the Cubs in a position where he let them right back into the game. If you look at the top of the 8th inning, of course, the Velasquez home run, just a four-seam fastball that just kind of cut right into Velasquez's happy zone, first home run I think first home run of the year, I believe. And then he gives up that double to Bodie. Just not a lot of command on that four-seamer, not a lot of late life on that four-seamer for David Price, and teams are just hitting it. The opponents are just getting their bat on the ball. But then Graterol, he comes in and he gets Ortega to ground into the fielder's choice there. And then he gets Contreras to ground into the double play. So a fantastic job going in there, getting the job done, and he gets the Dodgers out of that inning in just 5 pitches. So that's another thing with Brusdar, is he's been very efficient of late. But time for Jacks to go into Jack in the Box. That's from Daniel. What's up, everyone? By the way, do you guys ever actually go and get those Jack in the Box burgers? Let me know. Hello from Houston. Hello, Jeff, in enemy territory. Shout out to the trash throws out there. How sweep it is from Carlos. Offense is getting hot. I think with the offense, you'll see. I mean, if you look at the numbers, last 7 to 15 games, Trey Turner and Freddie Freeman in this homestand really haven't been as explosive. But last couple games, and when the Dodgers needed them to, they were right there. And you saw Trey Turner. He gets the clutch base hit to score a few runs there in the 3rd inning. You saw Freddie Freeman, what he did today was absolutely outstanding. Freddie Freeman last night gets a big base hit and gets that big double. So, yeah, the Dodgers, I mean, he gets the double that puts the Dodgers ahead 4-2 yesterday late in the 7th inning. So Freddie Freeman, the clutch gene is there, and he was absolutely snubbed by the All-Star, by the players for not having him in the All-Star game, and so was Will Smith. But who do you think was your biggest snub in the All-Star game? Let me know down below. I'm going to give you my big takeaways, too, for this one. But if you guys, what are your big takeaways in today's game? Let me know down below in the comment section. That's from Ryan Montez. My biggest takeaway, we win games. My biggest. We have the fight to win games. This team is very special. Yeah, this team definitely has this refuse to lose mentality. I mean, 25 comeback wins on the season. That says something. And today, you're talking about a team that was down 5-0. I mean, the Cubs put a 5 spot up on the Dodgers early in that 1st inning, and we're going to break that down in just a second. And then they get back in the game. They put up a 3 spot in the bottom of the 1st, and then you see Phil Bigford gives up that 3-run bomb in the 3rd inning, and they're down 8-3. So most teams, they're going to fold like Superman on laundry day, not this Dodgers team. The Dodgers could have said, hey, it's Sunday. We got a roadie against the Cardinals. We'll be leaving tomorrow. We've already had a successful homestand, and we could have gone 9-2, but instead they said, no, we're going to go 10-1. This team refused to lose, and I think that in the 2nd inning, I think one thing you saw from the Dodgers is that 2nd inning when Julio Urias, there was those 45 pitches in the 1st inning. He clearly wasn't going to go deep into this game, and that must have been a big blow for the Urias, because he's going out there. If he has a strong start, he puts himself in a position where maybe he finds a way to get onto that all-star team, right? And he struggles in this one, pretty much ends any chance of that happening. or significantly decreases his chances of that happening. But he comes out there and he guts out that second inning, a 1-2-3 inning for Julio Urias on 14 pitches, and I think that says a lot about him and who he has in his mettle. Because a 1-2-3 second inning kind of tightened up that changeup a little bit, and I think the team just kind of fed off of that and said, hey, let's go out and get Julio some runs. And I think that was a big moment, just Julio just bouncing back, coming out there in that second inning and saying, hey, I can put this behind me. He's like a defensive back in the NFL. You got to have that amnesia, right? That amnesia that's actually good for you. You have to forget about the last play, and Julio did that in the second inning, going out there, executing, and going as deep as he really could. But here we go. Jesus, Ray Perez, San Diego's unis look like Starburst rappers. Okay, Jesus, you're early nominee. So Starburst rappers from Jesus. So you're early nominee for comment of the game, for comment of the night. You're gonna get finish. You're gonna let's go Dodgers. There we go. There we go. Keep Lux at second. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Gavin Lux's defense. So why don't we jump right into it? We'll do some more comments here and we'll start breaking this game down because yes, Gavin Lux. The reads weren't there today, kind of misjudged that ball in the first inning. It looked like he charged it initially, and then he tries to go back on it. Yes, his glove doesn't go on it, so you're not going to get an error there, but you saw after Julio's start ended that he goes into that dugout and he's walking, acting like he's going to go get a beverage out of that cooler, and he just kind of does a little drive-by apology and says, hey, my bad, that was on me. Julio just kind of says, no, it's all good, man, shake it off. So I think that says a lot about both those guys just having the accountability there. But yeah, it's difficult to play the outfield at a big league level and make those reads on a routine basis. And I know for a fact that Gavin Lux has put in as much work as he possibly has been able to with the time given, especially in the offseason, doing a lot of work even through the lockout to put himself in a position to play the outfield at a competent level, but it's going to take time, and you're going to see mistakes like that. He does have the athleticism, he does have the speed, but my question is, does he have the instincts to play the outfield consistently at a big league level? And give him all the credit in the world, because he's been a great sport about it. He's embraced it. He's taken on the challenge, given it the good old college try, as they say. But I think you're right 100%. I agree with you. He does belong in the infield, and I think that for the vast majority of his career, that is where he'll play. Just look at the play he made in the ninth inning there to get to that ball to help out Brusdar. So yeah, you can see. I mean, he makes highlight plays in the outfield, in the infield, and I think that's where you ultimately see him ending up. I mean, that ground out when Happ hit that line shot there. I mean, he made a fantastic play on the ball that really helped end this game as quickly as it did in the ninth. But a future closer, yes, closer this year. No, do you guys think Brusdar Graterol will be the future closer of the Dodgers? Let me know down below. I do think that it's really largely dependent on his ability to develop those secondary pitches. Yes, the triple-digit heat is great, but look, you got to have some other clubs in the bag. You can't just have the driver there. You got to have some other clubs in that bag, and he's a guy that you got to change speeds. You got to downshift a little bit. So I think that Brusdar Graterol has the potential. He has that filthy stuff to be a closer, a guy that can go out there and get you the final 3 outs, but I think that he's not quite there yet, and I think for him it's, look, is he going to stay healthy? Is he going to have any shoulder issues, anything like that? We know there's been whispers of that when it comes to Brusdar Graterol, and just will he continue to develop? And I think it's very encouraging how receptive he is to the teachings of Mark Pryor and Connor McGinnis. He even talked about how Kenley Jansen was showing him the grip on his cutter. So, look, we've seen certain guys, I mean, just look at Tyler Anderson going to that different grip on his changeup. Look at Andrew Heaney and his sweeping sliders. Sometimes guys that have filthy stuff, if you add another pitch or you figure out a grip or the feel for a pitch, it can completely unlock you. Look at Clayton Kershaw, for example, on the slider. Look at Urias on the slurve. So I definitely think the raw stuff, there's no question it is there. He has a special talent, the ability to go triple digits and break that pray for radar guns everywhere for Brusdar Graterol, but I still think he's a work in progress. But I do just like the way that he continues to bounce back. He doesn't let bad starts get to him, and I just think he has a lot of the other things too when it comes to being a closer. He's got cool song, he's got the routine where he points at the sky. But here you go, Lux should not be in left field ever. That's from Paul Vila. Face Lord, poor Betts. He was the only one not to get a hit. LOL. Face Lord. Why did you point that out? I was trying to keep that a secret in the box score report. But yeah, if you look at today, Mookie Betts. But hey, look, I mean, Mookie Betts In the third inning, he put his bat on the ball, hustled down the line, and it did lead to that errant throw by Patrick Wisdom. So he definitely contributed to this game. So here we go. Let's go to the comments. We'll start breaking down this game. Give me your biggest takeaway from today. Here we go. Mr. Cat, your biggest takeaway is price is pure garbage. Yeah, the price is wrong is what you're saying. And look, he just doesn't – I mean, today I didn't like his body language today. I'll be honest with you. I did not like his body language today. Going out there, he was just not a lot of life on that fastball. Just the location, the command, not throwing it with conviction, as my good friend D-Train would say. And I think when it comes to David Price, I mean, he's a guy that – look, man, this guy has experienced the highest highs in this sport, winning a Cy Young, winning the World Series, being a guy that's very well paid, getting a crazy contract in his career. He's kind of one of those guys, the Hall of Very Good. He's not quite a Hall of Famer, but he's a guy that's achieved a lot in this game. But I think for David Price, I'm not saying that he thinks that coming out of the bullpen is beneath him or anything like that, but he just doesn't seem like he loves the role coming out today. And the interesting thing too, when you look at it, is the fastball velo, it was actually up. I mean, it was up by like 2 ticks on the four seam, on the sinker it was up. So yeah, I mean, I think for him it's just a matter of going out there, getting into the groove, but didn't quite have it today. And they put some good swings on there too. Not every pitch was a bad pitch from him either. But here we go. We got. I still think I'm not gonna lie. I'm still a little heated. Like, I mean, I'm still heated that Will Smith got snubbed from the All-Star game. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and act like I'm okay with that, because I am Will Smith, okay, and I'm very no, it's playing. But Freddie is the biggest snub from Damien. We got Frederick of Hollywood was fantastic from Craig Osterberg. Fred was the biggest snub. Look, but the thing is, you got. Yes, Freddie deserves to be an all-star, but you also have Pete Alonso, you have Goldschmidt, you have some good all-stars out there. If you look at the National League, what Will Smith has accomplished, there's no question that since he stepped onto the scene in 2019, he has been the best hitting catcher. And if you look at where his numbers stand, an 803 OPS, these are his National League rings, Will Smith's. I mean, an 803 OPS, second in the NL. 13 home runs, that's tied for first. 41 RBIs, that or is it 40 RBIs tied for second, a 129 WRC plus, that's good for second. So this time Will Smith is the one that got slapped in the face, and it was by the players. I mean, Travis d'Arnaud, give me a break. Will Smith is an absolute all-star, and maybe you can make the case that it's one of those situations where he's on a team that has so many stars, right? So many stars are on this team when you talk about Mookie Betts and Trey Turner and Gonson and Kershaw and all this talent that's on this team that maybe he gets lost and he doesn't get the shine that he really deserves. And it looks like, yeah, I mean, he gets overshadowed a little bit, but I think that's an absolute travesty. Will Smith absolutely deserves to be an all-star. He's also improved at the plate, game calling, pitch framing, and things of that nature too. So I think that hopefully, I mean, there is a chance. I mean, you can always add he has commissioner has the ability to add a third catcher, but we'll see what happens with that. Freddie, steak dinner free tonight from Pound for Pound. Yeah, Freddie Freeman, he was outstanding. Let's get into this game here. Let's go. My wife loves DP. I'm not talking about David Price. Nando, wow. I cannot believe I read that. Gonna have to edit that out. This is a family post-game show. Come on, Nando. Stephen Blunt, thanks for the $4.99 on the Super Chat. $5 tip to a new Cody Bellinger deal. Great at-bats for a game. He didn't even start in Go D-Mac, Stay Vin. I like that, man, and I think that's a great point. I mean, Cody Bellinger is a guy that he's had some very high highs and some very low lows. But in today's game, I think that, yeah, I mean, he did come in there and defensive substitution for Trace Thompson, and Cody Bellinger, if you look at his night, he definitely contributed. And I think that with Cody Bellinger, that's what it's all about. You just want him to go in there and contribute any way he possibly can. And he's a guy that we've seen get on big-time hot streaks. I think they definitely absolutely need his power. And I think it was just very impressive to see that at-bat in the sixth, where he goes down the count 1 and 2, and then he finds a way to work a 10-pitch at-bat. So, yeah, Cody Bellinger is a guy that's going to continue to grind, putting at bats, and he's going to be up in big spots and get you big hits. That's just what Cody Bellinger does. So, yeah, and then to see him single to right later in the game on a four-seam fastball, right, middle, not trying to do too much. I think that's the thing with Cody Bellinger is the approach has been better of late. He's not trying to do as much and just try to hit home runs and go deep. And he's so valuable to this team defensively. I mean, you can't understate that. He's really taken after, I don't want to say regressing slightly because of playing with a rib injury and a hamstring injury, the range wasn't quite where it was in previous seasons last year, but he's clearly back and healthy to being Cody Bellinger. I think I agree with you 100%. That was a big moment to just kind of continue to boost his confidence and continue just to kind of feel good about the direction he's headed in. And look, last 7 games, 6 for his last 23. But, yeah, I mean, he's a guy that, at any point you just kind of hope you can get it back. But what up, D-Mac? What up, Trey Slam? Do you feel like Tyler Anderson got an all-star snub? Edgar Lopez? Look, I mean, you could make a case for Kershaw, Gonsolin, who did make it, Urias, Lamb. I mean, those guys, Urias and Lamb, I mean, when you look at, Urias and, I was reading the Lamb's comment here, but when you look at Tyler Anderson, he's a guy that he took that no-hitter into the 8th, into the 9th inning. You saw what he was able to do this entire year, just stepping up. And look, a 91 1/3 innings pitched for Tyler Anderson. He has been the workhorse for the Dodgers. Leads the team in innings pitched, and a 3.15 ERA, a 3.35 FIP, a 2 F4. I mean, I think that you absolutely can make a case for Tyler Anderson. His name doesn't have that much sizzle. I mean, that's why you try to give him the nicknames I give him. Tyler the Outs creator, Siler Anderson. But the thing is, look, even if he doesn't make the All-Star team, I hope he makes the Pro Bowl for punking Ian Happ and throwing him to the ground, because you look like a safety shedding off that running back trying to go for extra yards. No, but I definitely think absolutely can make a case for Tyler Anderson. Not enough people are even talking about him, and I think that's another byproduct of the fact that he plays on a team that has all these stars, the Uriases, the Buehlers, even early in the year. But he leads the Dodgers with 91 1/3 innings pitched. I mean, he's been an absolute workhorse. That ERA plus at 132, the WHIP over 1, ERA at 3.35. So he's not going to make it, but he definitely is a guy that, look, I mean, I'm not a big wins-loss guy, but if you want to look at wins and losses, he's 9-1. So definitely he's been fantastic. We got Denny Cortez. Bazooka should be the future closer. Absolutely. Michael Belton, cheers. Still not as bad as the Whataburger jersey that the G-Nats have. Oh, my God. The Giants, it looks like a creamsicle. It looks like a cone. It looks like the VLC logo. It just it looks like a Gatorade logo. I mean, it's just the Giants one is absolutely atrocious. I mean, orange and black is for Halloween. And, look, it's just not a good jersey. Lux is still very young, as he has plenty of time to grow as an outfielder, AC Diamonds. I agree with you 100%. I don't deny the fact that he definitely has the tools to be a competent outfielder. But when you look at what's best for Gavin Lux, I mean, a 3.05 batting average. Well, do you have one more bat? Actually forgot. But, he's batting over 300 this season, and between him and Freddie Freeman, they're two of the tops on the team. I mean, what if I told you that before this season, that Gavin Lux was going to lead the team in batting average and Tony Gonsolin was going to lead the league in ERA at 162? I mean, I think the strides that both of those players have made, no one could have predicted that. Maybe their families or their girlfriends or something like that, but no one would have predicted that before the season started. But we got Shohei to the Lakers. That's from RJ. That's a contender for tweet of the night. Diane, how you doing? Yes, I think Brusdar will be a closer in the end. Yes, Graterol should be closer. A lot of you guys really want Brusdar Graterol to be the closer of the Dodgers. And I think today the big takeaway and what was the fact that he was able to come in and put out that fire. Look, his former walk-up song was Lil Wayne's Fireman, and for him to be a high-leverage guy and be that fireman that he was today when the Cubs were trying to creep back into that game. They hadn't scored a run since the 3rd inning, and they were able to score a run there in the 8th. For him to come out there and put out that fire, I think it was massive. And the Dodgers, they really benefited from Brusdar Graterol not having any type of injury. I mean, he left the game on Thursday, kind of had a little cramp situation. He needs to drink some drink some Gatorade, man. Drink some more Gatorade, get hydrated. And he looked fantastic, and he just made it look so easy too in the 9th inning. I thought the at bat to Wisdom, I was very impressed by that. He was behind the count. He missed with the ball low and away. Then he gets him to foul that sinker. Kind of left that one a little middle. And then the slider swinging in the zone, that to me was the most impressive pitch. That needed a 1-2 count. And then he fouls off the slider on the fourth pitch of the at-bat. Then he misses high with the fastball just up out of the zone. Thought it was a great pitch in that situation. Try to get him to chase an elevated fastball. And then a sinker kind of low and away and to start to finish him off looking. Just kind of froze him right there. I thought it was a fantastic sequence by Brusdar, Graterol, and the very next batter, a great play by Justin Turner, who's played a lot better at third base of late. Range has been better. The glove has been better. He makes a nice pick at one, and Horner, do I make you Horner, baby? He grounded out to end the game. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great showing by Brusdar Graterol. He was not walking guys. You're talking about a clean inning. And after what we've seen from Craig Kimbrell of late, it's very satisfying to see Brusdar go out there and get the job done. Deborah Young, my man, Freddie MVP, MV free. Phil Hampton, with all the injuries, the Dodgers continue to dominate. Yes, they have gotten their swagger back. Wait till May and Treinen return. The Yankees will be sweating if they face the Dodgers in the World Series. Would love to see the All-Star Game and the World Series in L.A. Make it happen. Don Kim, agree with you. I like that one. Don Kim, what up, D-Mac? Did you get that secret handshake? I did not get the secret handshake with Mookie, but Tyler Anderson is another snub. Padres getting ready to fold like a cheap tent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Padres and the Giants thought it was an 84-game season. I think that's my theory. Maybe they thought. D-Mac, you got snubbed from the All-Star game. Alex Renteria, I really thought that I put in some good work. I thought there was a chance I could maybe make it, but look, I mean, I'll take this personal, and I'll try to make it next year, man. That's what it's all about. But Joseph Megazzini, how are you sober after that game? Hey, man, can't go full Daryl Strawberry before this show. But we feel bad for you, D-Mac. You were snubbed cold-blooded. Look, guys, it's gonna be fine. I mean, the All-Star game, whatever. It's an exhibition game. I didn't want to be in it anyway. I knew a few days off, but no, I'm just playing. I would love to be in the All-Star game. But Dodgers need to represent in LA from Michael Rain. Go Mariners. Okay, this is the first for this show. We have a Mariners fan in the chat. Padres disconnect unis look like their play diarrhea. Baby Mike, you finish him with that one. Justin Turner has been raking. That's from Craig Osterberg. Yeah, it's another big takeaway of late is the play of Justin Turner. A lot of people were trying to pull the cord on Justin Turner's career. A lot of people were saying JT was cooked, JT was washed, but Justin Turner, I think today he was impressive once again. You saw him rip a single to left field. You saw him go with one, just poke one into right field, and I think that's when you can tell that he's locked in. When he's pulling balls, especially for power, doubles in the gap to left center, home runs to left field. We saw an opposite field home run against the Rockies on that cutter. So yeah, he's hitting to all fields. If you look at his last 52 at bats, he's slashing 385, 424, 615. He's gone 20 for his last 52 with 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, 2 walks, even a stolen base in there. So, yeah, Justin Turner has absolutely turned it around in a bigger way. And then Max Muncy. I think Max Muncy, he was 0 for his last 15 before heading into today's action. And Max Muncy, he had another big day. You saw the big sac fly there to get the Dodgers to put up some runs there in the bottom of the first inning. And then he gets the double later in the third inning. So, yeah, Max Muncy ends up going 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. So a positive day for Muncy. JT goes 2 for 4, and those are the kind of, that's kind of like the struggle bus check right there. We're gonna be checking on those guys all season long to see how they're doing, and I think those two, they have. Look at JT. His batting average already up to 250 when he was hovering around the Mendoza line. Max Muncy hasn't made the strides that JT has made, but yeah, definitely an improvement there. Gavin Lux and Freddie Freeman both batting 304 on the season. Trey Turner batting 301. Belly is contributing in other ways. Ty France was snubbed. Diane Schroeder, thank you very much. $20. I appreciate it. That's going towards Trey Turner's extension, some Osada fries, and probably some Modelo's as well. Maybe a Zima. $20. Thanks for fixing notifications. Have a Mitch lot on me. Appreciate you as always. Yeah, that was priority number 1 to get that going. Doom Sal, Modelo's for a crazy game, $10. Man, dude, I feel like I'm Will Smith on Friday with my shirt off or something. You guys should be like throwing money at me like we're at the strip club or something. Will D-Mac Smith needs to slap someone for that all-star snub, Alex Renteria? Yes, I am not happy about it. I'm very enraged about it. I mean, I talked to Will Smith in spring training, and making the All-Star team was definitely something that he wanted to, was a big goal of his. But we'll see. And sometimes when you make that All-Star team for the first time, you have to do it very convincingly. And the average, I mean, he did get off to a slow start, but I mean, like I said, if you look at his National League rings offensively, they're right up there. But Trace Lamb, you had me rolling with this one. Trace Thompson was snubbed. Do you guys think that Trace Thompson was snubbed for the All-Star game? Joseph Gonzalez, Juan Soto is batting .247. He doesn't belong in the All-Star game this year. Yeah, I mean, he has had a down year, doesn't have the protection. That lineup has gone up to a slow start. And, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game for the fans. I mean, think about this, man. Look, I'll be honest with you guys. You guys know I watch baseball till my eyes bleed. I'm as big of a baseball fan as I am a football and basketball fan. But I'm not a big All-Star game guy. I really am not. I'd rather watch the Dodgers versus a last-place team that actually counted versus watching the All-Star game. Maybe that's just me, and if you enjoy the All-Star game, that's your thing, that's your bag, baby, go for it. It's all good. But to me, on top of the fact that it doesn't count for anything, you're giving someone accolades for 55% of the season. I mean, just look at Cesar Izturis back in, I think it was 2005, when he was atrocious in June leading up to the All-Star game, and he hit like 205 after. I think the fact you have every team that has a representative, to me, is a joke as well. So, I mean, if we're being quite frank, I'm not a big All-Star game guy. I'm not saying it's the All-Star shame or anything. It's great if you enjoy it, and the fact that it's at Dodger Stadium is, I think, special, especially when you consider the fact it's the first time in 42 years. But I'm just not a big All-Star game guy. To me, I think for the most part, it's pretty. It's not a very compelling game because it doesn't count for anything. I'm sick of hearing about Belly. He's clutch. How we forget his big hits. Yeah, I think you're right, Rome 33. I mean, he's come through again and again and again. I mean, you saw against the you saw earlier in the week the big base hits he had, the big stolen base in the walk-off against the Rockies. I mean, he was big in that game as well. So yeah, I mean, Cody Bellinger has been fantastic in clutch situations over the years, and you never know when he's going to get that big hit. But you have to kind of stick with him for now. But the VLC logo, Ryan, Will Smith needs to slap the crap out of the ball on the All-Star team. The Padres uniforms look like a paintball game gone bad. I like that one, Kim Kennard. That's a contender for comment of the night. But let's jump to the bottom of the first inning, guys. First, I think Lux is our shortstop next year from Diane Schroeder. Richard, Lamb, and Thompson should be platoon left field and keep Lux at second. Muncy and Turner alternate between third and DH. Richard Burris, that's definitely a plan that they're going to be going for in the immediate future. I mean, Thompson has had more success against righties than we had expected. Lamb, you saw him hit homers in consecutive games. I think that you put him in situations against right-handed pitching. He's a guy that, look, man, the low fastball, he can get to it. He can crush it still. So, yeah, I think that you will see a platoon of Trace Thompson and Lamb in left, and I think that Gavin Lux is most comfortable at second. I think that's where he needs to be playing, unless it's a situation. And then also you talk about the fact that Chris Taylor is out. Hopefully they get CT3 back in the next 2-3 weeks. So that, to me, definitely has to be the plan moving forward. And I think the silver lining in here is having the time to evaluate Trace Thompson and evaluate Lamb, because I think, look, you guys know I'm part of the Lamb League. You know I like me some Rake Lamb. You know I don't want to see the Dodgers without a Trace, but he's been in bad bib heaven of late, Trace Thompson. Seems like every ball that he puts his bat on ends up finding a hole or hits for extra bases. Also been, he's hitting over 350 with runners in scoring position, so he's been a very clutch hitter. You saw him have a great big league at bat, right, where he was able to draw that walk. So I think that this is a good evaluation period for those two guys, especially leading up to that August 2nd trade deadline. You see how Lamb and you see how Thompson are able to perform, and then based on that and based on Chris Taylor's injury, you determine if you need to take a big swing on adding another bat. But here we go. Belly has as many homers as Freddie. He's inconsistent as hell. That's baseball. He's been stealing bags left and right as well. Never tired of hearing I love LA. Yeah, Itchy. Ray Barsimian after the 6th inning when we have the lead. Lux out of position in left field. Are you listening? Dave Roberts, Jay Silva. Yeah, the positioning was a little off on that, but I think it was really just the read off the bat. The sun as well played a factor, and I think later in the inning as well. Let's actually break down this game. So let's go to the top of the first inning. Julio strikes out Morel. on an elevated fastball for the first out. Then he hits Contreras on a 1-2 pitch that clipped the back foot on a slurve. And then Ian Happ, he doubles to left after a ball gets over Lux's head and left. So it looked like he mistimed his jump there, didn't read the ball off the bat well in that situation. And it was an error, like I said, because, of course, he didn't get his glove on it. But yeah, that's a situation where a lot of left fielders are going to make that play, and we're going to see Chris Taylor probably make that play as well. So even even Jake Lamb. So and then next, with runners on second and third on an 0-2 count, Urias, he hits Wisdom in the top of the toes, back foot breaking ball for real on that one, back foot breaking ball in a literal sense, it just really hits his toes, and if he gets that strikeout there, he's already had 2 outs. So really unfortunate was Julio hitting those batters there earlier in that game. You're never going to see that very often. I mean, for Julio to hit 2 batters in that first inning, it was a confluence of factors, a comedy of errors, really. The fact that you have those 2 hit batsmen, the ball gets over Lux's head, and he had hit just 2 batters all year, and he hit 2 batters in the first inning. And then we've seen some first inning walks be an issue for Julio. So if you're going to get to Julio, it's going to be either in that first inning or the third inning. That is what the numbers will tell you. But here we go. Last Dodger game. Last Dodger Stadium All-Star game was in 1980. Dodgers had 4 in the National League starting lineup. They could easily have the same this year. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I hate the idea that every team has a representative. I just think that's such a stupid rule. I mean, that's why. I mean, it's like reason number like 5 where I'm not a big. I mean, I'm not trying to be Dougie Downer here, but yeah, I mean, I don't like the fact that you have that rule. Where you have every team has a representative. I mean, it was cool back in the day when we got our team representatives and the Dodgers didn't have as much talent. But yeah, I think you got to go with the best talent, the players that really you think are going to help the game. And yeah, I just wasn't big into it. But yeah, I absolutely think they could have 4 people in the game. I mean, easily. And back in 1980. That was a big year. I mean, you had you had Steve Garvey, you had Davey Lopes, you had Reggie Smith, you had who else? Oh, Bill Russell, right? Trey Turner's the first shortstop to start the game since Bill Russell. So yeah, absolutely, I agree with you 100% on that one. But let's jump back into this comment section. Bigford concerns me. That's from Zachariah Yeager. Yeah, let's get into that. Glad to see Pujols is in, though. Let their peers vote the players in. Why do we have Alberto? I love L.A. From Richard Eagle. That's from JRM. Thompson and Lamb's previous stints in the show are huge upgrades compared to the AAA players we used last season. Yeah, you're speaking to the choir here because I was saying that on Friday. It's a massive upgrade because they're big. They feel like legitimate big leaguers. Big leaguers, they're going to give you big league at-bats and come up and give you those professional at-bats because it looks, Zach Rex, he was a wreck. I mean, Luke Raley is like, Luke, really? I mean, there were players out there last year for the Dodgers that just weren't getting it done. You just didn't feel like you had a chance to really have an impact. And like Sheldon, he didn't bring very much noisy. I mean, Matt Beatty, he was okay in his opportunities, but Matt Beatty, I mean, he's atrocious this year. Let's be honest. I mean, Matt Beatty, he's a fringe big leaguer at best. If we're just being, if we're keeping it 100. But, Joseph William Contreras got the All-Star break game when we wasn't batting that well all year. Braves fans stuffed the bouts for that DH spot. Yeah, I mean, 10-1 at home Dodgers. That's from Lara Dog, Michael. Okay, so jumping back into the bottom of the first inning. So with the bases loaded, full count to Horner, he singles to left to give the Cubs a 1-0 lead. And on that play right there, going back to Gavin Lux, he looked like he was playing that very conservatively. And yeah, he didn't really charge it, didn't take a dive at it or anything like that. And I think that a lot of that was because of what happened earlier in that inning. Didn't want to make another mistake. So yeah, you want to see him out there just trusting his instincts and playing free. And that's a situation where he was a little more careful about it and did lead to a run. But next batter, P.J. Higgins with the bases loaded, a low-in fastball that he just gets on top of. Urias just kind of gives up that home run there, and he hits a grand slam. So it was a grand slam for P.J. Higgins. That made it 5-0. 5-0 early in the first inning. And, yeah, that's the thing with Julio Urias is the long ball has been somewhat of an issue. More than 60% of the runs that he's allowed this season have come via the long ball. And, yeah, I mean, he was close to getting him out early in the at-bat as well. So, I mean, it was a 2-2 count. He fouled off a fastball in the same spot. And then on the 2-2 again, he missed with that changeup arm side. And then, yeah, P.J. Higgins didn't even have a hit this series. He goes deep, and it made it 5-0 early to the bad guys, the Cubbies. So we got, Braves fan, thanks for checking in. Just in time so I can block your ass. Here we go. Let me just block that Braves fan on a Sunday. Nothing better to do. Braves fan trying to kick it. One second, guys. But, yeah, I think all in all today, like I said, Julio he goes at 5 runs in the first, 45 pitches. You know he was cooked. You know that, he looked very frustrated out there on the mound. He was showing his frustration. I think Julio is a guy that he can bounce back, and he can give up runs and still just perform even after that. But really it came down to the pitch count, and you're not going to, Braves worsa. You're beta, bro. Block user on YouTube. Let's go, guys. Hey, welcome to the Dodgers Nation block party. Braves beta. D-Mac beta. Thanks, Steve. Dodgers beta. Yeah, I agree with you pound for pound. Okay, here we go. And then so bottom of the first inning, though, the Dodgers, they come right back. I think they made a real statement saying, hey, we're not going to give up this game. We're not going to just, like I said, fold like Superman on laundry day. So bottom of the first, Mookie takes high and inside for ball 4. He draws a walk, and then Trey singles to left. So the first 2 reach for the Dodgers on Smiley, and then Freddie Freeman, he smoked one 110 miles per hour off the bat to right, and right in the glove of Morrell in center. So that was for the first out. And then Will Smith, he rips a double to left to score Mookie to make it 5-1. So the Dodgers, the fact that they were able to get on the board right away in the bottom of the first inning, that told me there's a chance we're going to see the 25th comeback win of the season. And it turned out that was the case. So that made it 5-1 Dodgers thanks to that Will Smith double to left. He found the line. 3rd straight game with an RBI for Will Smith. That gave the Dodgers runners on second and third with 1 out. And then on the first pitch to Justin Turner, he cranks a single to left to score Trey to make it 5-2 Dodgers. And then at that point in the game, 10 of the first 14 batters had reached. That is just nuts. And then with runners on the corners, 1 out, next batter, Max Muncy on a 3-2 pitch. He flies to the warning track, just missed hitting a home run there. And that would have tied the game, but he still is able to get that sac fly, and that makes it 5-3 Dodgers. So like I said, when the Dodgers are at their best, you're seeing the slug, you're seeing the timely hitting, you're also seeing the productive out. You're seeing them move guys over in situations. And in this case, on a 3-2 count, he's got to be a little more protective out there on the plate. Can't just be free swinging for the fences, but he was still able to get his bat on the ball and get it deep enough right there deep in the warning track in center field to score that run. So a nice productive out for Max Muncy. And then Trace Thompson, he strikes out looking on a fastball that it was just it was a breaking ball that was clearly high up out of the zone. So a terrible call there by the ump. But the Dodgers, they put up a 3 spot in the first. They answer right away, and that makes it 5-3. And like I said, Julio comes back, has a 1-2-3 inning in the second, kind of sparked the Dodgers offense to get right back at it. We're going to jump to the top of the third in just a second. Let's get back into the comments here. What is your biggest takeaway? Do you guys think? Just one-word answer. I want a one-word answer here. And if you want explanation later, but one-word answer. Who should start the All-Star game? Should it be Clayton Kershaw? Should it be Tony Gonsolin? Should it be Sandy Alcantara? Should it be Max Fried? Should it be Justin Turner for his pitching exploits? He has 0.00 career ERA. No, I'm just playing. But who do you want to see start the All-Star game? Let me know down below. Matt, we need another ace to win it all. Look at this, the rotation. We're talking about a sub-2 ERA in this stretch where they've taken 10 of 11 games at home. The rotation has pitched well. You guys have heard me discuss some names when it comes to starting pitching trades, but won't get too deep in the weeds on that, but let's stick to this. But we'll touch on that more in just a second. I promise you that. Gary A., if I'm the Dodgers, I do not sign Urias or Buehler to multi-year huge contracts. Both inconsistent. That's from Gary A. I think it kind of depends on the contracts that they're after, because we know, of course, Boris, right? He's represent Julio, and yeah, I mean, I think it just kind of depends because we'll see. I mean, Walker Buehler is kind of the big question. We at one point it looked like he was guaranteed to be a $200 million guy, and that he was guaranteed to be, someone that he signed that 2-year, $8 million contract, and we thought for sure he was going to be, one of those guys that the Dodgers were going to have to pay a big. But I mean, if he can't find his four-seam fastball again, I think that there's no way that you give him big money. And I think Julio, he is inconsistent at times. There's no question about it. I think that he's a guy, maybe $185 million deal, something like that. I would like to see Julio stay in LA at the right price, but he's another guy that he loves it here. He loves being a Dodger. If they could work something out, I think he's the further he gets away from that shoulder injury as well, and he continues to prove his durability. And we'll see how he bounces back after throwing over 185 innings last year. How does he perform throughout the rest of this regular season and in the postseason? That's going to be a big question as well. So we're not quite there yet with both of them, but Julio Urias, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Autistic person. Okay, Dodgers 2020, 2021, 2022 refuse to give up, which is why they're elite, classic, grit, and then you capitalize LA on the classic. I see what you did right there. Nicely done, Rebecca. We got Deborah Young. Padres uniforms look like a scrapbook page gone really, really bad. Chris Hainward. The key to the Dodgers today is they answered everything the Cubs threw at them. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, the Cubs, they came out there trying to get a win because, look, this is the first time the Dodgers had swept the Cubs at home at Dodger Stadium since the 1960s. And the Cubs always have a nice turnout when it comes to fans. And, yeah, you saw they threw some haymakers early on with the home run. You saw them hit another 3-run shot against Bigford there in the third inning. But the Dodgers just refused to lose. And this team, they have that winning mentality. And winners win. And this Dodgers team, they're clutch. They refuse to lose. You're seeing them grind out big at-bats in big situations. Lots of clutch two-strike hitting. I mean, in this one, even Mookie Betts, he grounds out, running hard to first, kind of helps Wisdom kind of have that error there. So, yeah, if we jump to the bottom of the first inning, we talked about that, and then we'll jump to the top of the third. So Phil Bigford, he struck out Wisdom on 3 pitches for the first out, and the 0-1 pitch, Horner pokes a single to left, to fastball away. He got his bat on it. And that's the thing with Phil Bigford. He's just given up a lot of hits. Too many hits for Phil Bigford this season. I think that, that's why Andrew Friedman, he doesn't want to trade for relievers, right? He doesn't trade for relievers. He doesn't give up big prospect capital for relievers because relievers are very volatile. They're very volatile. They're just like they're like one-hit wonders, man. They're like the Hanson of the Hanson, the Mambo number 5 when it comes to pitching. They're one-hit wonders a lot of times, and we've seen that. I mean, with the Brandon Morrows, and he did get injured, but I mean, there's plenty of examples of how the volatility of relievers, and when it comes to Bigford, the hits are just up this year. The hits, the ERA, was at 250 last year. Heading into today, it was at 461. So, I mean, Phil Bigford's a great guy. I mean, don't kid yourself. But I mean, today in that inning, then on the 3-2 pitch after he gave up the single to Horner, he misses outside for ball 4 on the 3-2 pitch. And that's the thing too. He's not getting those pitches on the black this year like we saw last season. Just like slightly outside. I don't know if it's just the lack of confidence, kind of nibbling there, but you want to see him attack the strike zone more because he does have that extension. He does have that life, that run on his heater, and he just has to trust it. So then on the 3-2 pitch, he misses for ball 4, and then that was funny. They actually tried the hit and ball trick there to Horner, and then he strikes out Velasquez with a slider away for the second out, and then a 1-1 pitch to David Bodie. Not David Bowie, David Bodie. He goes yard, he hits a 3-run shot. That makes it 8-3 Cubs. Slider that just hung right there in the middle of the plate low. Bodie hits it out. And the Cubs had scored 8 runs in the first 3 games. They scored 8 runs in the first 3 innings against the Dodgers today. So, I mean, look at that pitch right there. Just a hanging slider, and he hit it right out. So, just can't leave those breaking balls out over the plate. Big league hitters, they're going to hit those out. Then he comes back, though, and he walks Simmons, and then he finds a way to strike out Morrow for the third out. So they get 3 runs on 2 hits, and then Higgins He walks Higgins. He walks Simmons. So really not a good appearance today for Phil Bigford. Definitely a rough appearance for him. And then let's jump to the bottom of the third in just a second. Let's get back into the comments here. But, yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on Phil Bigford? Is he a guy that you can really trust if you're the Dodgers? In my opinion, I think the answer is pretty much no at this point. I mean, I think that he's a guy that he'll go on his runs, and he was definitely starting to figure it out a little more of late. But, yeah, based on the entire body of work this season, it definitely is concerning if you're the Dodgers. But, yeah, I mean, let's jump back into this comment section real quick here. Go Dodgers. Congrats to Tony and Kershaw. Yeah, guys, mash that heart button for Tony Gonsolin and Clayton Kershaw. How can you win only 60 games? Trade Kimbrel for Castillo. Joshua, I think it would take a little more than that. But, yeah, we jump to the bottom of the third inning, and that's where it was just wild. So bottom of the third inning, a 3-2 pitch. Freddie Freeman hits a leadoff double to deep center. Great at-bat, great two-strike approach right there, but still was able to crush one, a fastball low and away. And then Swarmer came in to pitch to Will Smith. Smiley's day was done. First pitch outside gets away, and Freeman advances to third. Will Smith grounded out to short to score Freddie Freeman to make it 8-4. I was telling you earlier, those productive outs. Then a 1-2 count. Justin Turner, he singled to right for his second hit of the day. And like I said, he's looking more locked in. That brought up Max Muncy with one out and Muncy at the plate. And a 1-1. He doubles to deep right. Cranked a fastball, stayed on that fastball outer half, and that gave the Dodgers runners on second and third with Trace Thompson at the plate on a 2-2 pitch. He ripped one down the line, but it was just foul. And then on the 3-2 pitch, he draws a one-out walk to load the bases. Then Jake Lamb, he was ahead in the count, 2-0, and then he fouls off two straight fastballs, and he ends up going down on that filthy slider, just buried it right down there low in the zone for the second out. And then Gavin Lux, he steps into the box with 2 outs and the bases loaded. He falls behind the count 1-2, managed to work a 7-pitch walk. So what this team's been able to do with 2 strikes and 2 outs, they've been clutch all season. And it was a nice job right there, laying out those sliders low and in. That scored JT, making it 8-6 Dodgers. And that brought up Mookie Betts with the bases still loaded and 2 outs. And then on a 3-1 pitch, he grounded to third, but was saved after a throwing error by Patrick Wisdom. That made it 8-7 LA. He just bounced one short of Bodie at first. Mookie ended up going to second on the error, giving the Dodgers runners on second and third with 2 outs and Trey Turner at the plate. And on the 0-1 pitch, Trey Turner, he just reached down and hit a curveball to left for a base hit to score Lux and Betts to make it 9-8 Dodgers. Trey then ends up stealing second. The Dodgers just came roaring back, 6 runs on 5 hits and an error there in the third inning. And then they got the much-needed insurance run in the 6th inning. Freddie Freeman, a 1-0 count, he crushed a fastball to left for his 11th home run of the season. That made it 10-8 Dodgers. And then in the bottom of the 7th, they tacked on another run. Lux reached on an infield single to short, just showing those wheels. Made it to second on a wild pitch by Martin. Betts struck out swinging. Trey popped to short. And then Freeman singled to left to score Lux to make it 11-8 Dodgers. And you saw David Price, he struggled. Nelson Velasquez hit that dong off DP in the 8th to make it 11-9. First run since the 3rd. Just a fastball that cut right into his happy zone. Then you saw Brusdar, he came in and he just put out the fire and he got the job done there late in the game. But yeah, let's keep going. A couple more takeaways here, and then we will let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. So here you go. We got Cesar. The boys showed something I thought they didn't have this season: grit. We got Cesar 2017 vibes. We've got Pacific Fork. Middle of the first was an eye roll, a deep breath, a pause button, cold drink, back with more deep breaths, press play, and believed in my boys and blue. Dodger Dash. Weather down by 1 run or 5, never count the Dodgers out. Walker comeback mentality is on. Julie's still a lot of fight in this team. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles. San Diego Sherberts. Coffee. But yeah, let's jump back into your guys' comments and we'll head out of this one. Price. Caves under pressure. Moose, Trace, and Lamb have been really good off the bench. It's nice to see them have solid production off the bench. Absolutely. And they're comfortable in their roles. They play their roles well. I think Hanser Alberto leaves more to be desired at the plate. Defensively, it's nice that he can play multiple infield positions. But yeah, 100% grit. Finally, Los Angeles back up the Brinks truck for Trey before he hits the market pound for pound. Absolutely. I've been on the paid Trey bandwagon for quite some time, and I'm not going to be leaving. E.B. Freeman should cry loudly when he rounds the bases, when he hits a home run. Ouch. They do not. So okay, awesome. But yep, guys, thanks for rocking with us here after the Dodgers get one of the wildest wins of the season. I mean, this game was just absolutely bonkers, but they were able to come back. I mean, this game was just insane. You had 20 runs total. You had 86 total plate appearances. I mean, you had 13 pitchers used. The game time over 4 hours, but it was a wild one. But enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll be back with you guys Tuesday. Dodgers take on the Cardinals on the road, and it should be a great series for a Cardinals team that they think they're contenders as well. But a couple more comments here, guys, and let you guys enjoy the rest of your day. But Clayton Lockhart, what up, D-Mac? I just smashed that like button. What a freaking game. Dougie Fresh, do the Dodgers go after Jake McGee? I would say probably not. Trace, yeah, Mon for Mon, what up, man? But yeah, that's hit that like button from Dave Xander. But yeah, guys, thanks always. Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, rest of your night. Go Dodgers. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time.